Hello, this is John, K7HV. Well, I'm back on the beach with my radio, but it occurs to me that I've made 4 videos already showing my nifty radio and solar panels and my QRP. So I'm just going to put down some little tricks that I've learned in place and elsewhere that makes the operating easier and the antenna setup. But basically, same setup, my folding solar panel, charge regulator, lithium, potassium battery, and QRP rig, 3-band Hendrix. Having a lot of fun. I worked a couple of the stations in the European contest in Europe, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, just all with 4 watts and a long wire antenna. But I'm just going to show some hints on doing setup versus waxing poetic about how fun it is and all that good stuff. First of all, this is a long wire antenna. It goes up about 38 feet and then over about 17 feet. So it comes straight down, so it's a nice vertical shot on the salt water. And I do it, it's been good weather, so I just run it straight to the antenna terminal on the radio. But if there was rain, I would have the radio back a little bit, of course. I'd have like this steep roof on the tarp, and I would tie a loop here. I would give it a little more slack down here, so I'd have the length to do this. And actually, antennas work fine when you do this. It doesn't create some kind of horrible eddy. It might, but they seem to work. So I tie this down, so this point is actually lower than the radio, and then run the wire up to the antenna jack. In this case, the red knob here. And that keeps the water flowing down, and so you can operate and keep your radio jack. And another trick I learned that I learned of all places on the QRP-L internet mailing list is a cool, effective way of setting up an antenna out in the woods. Being the videographer, it's really hard to do this selfie. So the problem is, how do you get, I don't know if the camera will show it, how do you get that wire over that limb on this side, and then the haul-up line over that other limb on the other side? In the past, I have used like a rock, an odd-shaped rock, and then lashed it really cleverly, triple-sided so it doesn't slip, and then but it often will slip off, and it's kind of squirrely to use. So one of the guys on the list, and I wish I remembered his call and the name, showed me the way. That is, find one of your nice nylon socks, not wool or cotton that can catch on a leaf or a twig, and cut off the bottom, sacrifice your beautiful nylon sock, and make a little sack, and there's plenty of rocks here at the beach. If you're out on the trail and there's like dirt or sand, you could use dirt or sand. If it's wet dirt or mud, it'll weigh more. But here's some rocks. Feels pretty good. Okay, so got a bag of rocks. Okay, next thing to do, put it next to the, tie a knot around the cord. And give it a good tug. Maybe wrap the cord around a couple times. And Double granny works fine. You don't have to be fancy. Sip of coffee. It's straight coffee, by the way. Too early in the day. Other stuff. So here's just some regular, very lightweight tent cord. And then, just for this example, I am going to, this tree, I don't want to, that looks dead. I'd hate to take my antenna down. So what you do for throwing it is you lay it out free of vegetation, stuff it'll snag on. Just a quick zigzag so it pulls, it's pulling from the top, so you could layer it over itself. Just like that. Packing a parachute, but I've never packed parachutes. So this takes a little practice, but I've been doing it for years. In desperation in places without rocks, I've actually used my Leatherman, which is not a good idea if it gets caught on a limb and it's 40 feet in the air. You could spend an afternoon retrieving your $50 Leatherman from the tree. A bag of rocks, no problem. So, my previous attempts at this, well, I forgot something important. That is, we'll tie off the bottom. Okay. So, for obvious reasons, you don't want to pull the string over the tree. So I'm just going to shoot it right over that limb that I have my antenna at now. 1, 2, 3. Well, kind of did it. Not the limb I was aiming for, but it would work. So here it goes. What I do now is I would add the string on the other side, or the antenna wire, let that drop. That's what I did with this. And then I would do the same on the other tree up here, which I did for the other. And then just pull the wire over the top. And here's my inverted L antenna. In this case, it is a 50-foot inverted L, and it looks like, just guessing, that it is about, good grief, it looks more like 50 feet and maybe 8 feet horizontal, give or take a couple feet. So it's a great antenna right next to salt water or anywhere. So that's the easy way to do it. And you're not supposed to do this, but I'm going to do it just to get it back. So anyway, that's how to do an easy install of an antenna. So that's it for my antenna hint for this time, and I'll next time I go out and figure something out this cool, I'll post it as well. Enjoy QRP, and thanks. K7 HV signing off.